Hello. Hi. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel, and today we're doing a little belated August favorites. It's going to span fashion, dog favorites, homewares, and makeup. So if that sounds good to you, I hope you'll stick around, hang out, listen to a little Frank eating dinner ASMR, and let's hop right in. So I jumped the gun a little bit. Frank was still eating. I think he's done. There's still food in there, but he has left the building as if he's done. If he's not, and the noise continues, bless you. He's cleaning himself in the carpet in the hallway. I will try to pause, but this is an informal video, so whatever happens, happens. I have a gargantuan basket, although the empties list is much shorter than last month. Last month there was a lot of coping going on. There was still some coping this month, but I've been very busy, so the content-y type things is much shorter this month, so I think we'll be able to get it all in a video. I will start with fashion because I really only have one thing in here. If I really sat down and thought about it, there's more that could go into this category, but I think I'll be sharing those in September favorites. But what I wanted to share is something that I have mentioned on my channel here before, and it is the Modal Cotton Blend Night Sets from Banana Republic. I have it in navy with this kind of off-white piping, and then I have it in the off-white with navy piping. It's a tank top with wide leg kind of capri length pants. So soft, but a heavyweight modal that's not hot. When I say heavyweight, I just mean the fabric weight's a little bit heavier and it washes so much better than the Moonlight Dreams. I am still continuing to test out different brands and building my kind of loungewear pajama collection back up. I have a few favorites already, but there's some coming in the mail that I can't wait to test out. So I am planning to hopefully film my fashion staples, which is like the basics of daytime clothing. I have them all prepped in my office. I think I might get a clothing rack to help with filming that. So that might be delayed a little bit, but I would want to do kind of a second installment, which is kind of loungewear, athleisure, and pajamas. So if you're in the market for really soft, cotton, stretchy, again, that modal blend, I can attest to the wash. I've owned these for a while now, and they wash super well. I follow the instructions that I gave in my fashion Q&A, which is cold water to wash, line dry, and they're doing great. They're really holding up, so I'm very happy with these. They are pricey, but Banana Republic has sales quite frequently, so do not pay full price for these. Also, they kind of go in and out of stock. They have different styles. I also have a matching navy robe, and I love it. So if you can get your hands on some of the pajamas from Banana Republic, I can attest to the quality. They're great. All right, I want to knock out the books that I read because they're kind of sitting on top of that basket pile, and then we'll jump into makeup. If I have time, I'll include timestamps so you can jump around. But the books that I read this month, I would highly recommend one of them. The other two, I don't know if I would blanket recommend these. The first one is When We Were Bright and Beautiful by Jillian Medoff, I think is how you pronounce it. I got mine in a Book of the Month club. Frank, while I was asleep and sick one day, absolutely gnawed the corner of this. It's the first thing he's ever chewed, so that's okay with me. And it was paper, so hopefully, well, it didn't mess him up. He's fine. This was like very early on in the month. But this book, I don't know that I would blanket recommend. It was a very good read. It had very good kind of plot twists, but it is a very triggering subject. It almost follows the case of Brock Turner, a heavier topic, and it gets even heavier. I won't give any spoilers away, but that's why I cannot blanket recommend it. It is quite troublesome. It's upsetting, but it approaches it in a way that's more of a helpful way from a victim's perspective, and also kind of commentary on how these things are handled in our society today. It's interesting. It has a good plot twist, but again, it's kind of a troubling topic, so I wouldn't blanket recommend this, but if that type of thing doesn't bother you, it is a good book. It was a page turner for sure. I enjoyed it, but again, approach at your own risk type of thing. The second book I read will be of no shock. It was another Colleen Hoover. It was November 9. This is very much so in kind of the rom-com category for me. in terms of her books. She really kind of switches it up based on which book you have. This one was a kind of a light read, a nice one too. Again, very kind of rom-com-y. I enjoyed it. If you're into romance novels and you like light romance novels, I like this one. There is some parts of this that shouldn't be considered light, but the way that Colleen approaches it, this wasn't like a depressing book whatsoever at all. I really enjoyed it. So again, if you're into romance, I would recommend any of her books really, but this one was good. Not my favorite Colleen Hoover book, but a good one nonetheless. And then the next one that I would absolutely blanket recommend, especially for those of you here on my channel who have been asking about style, is Iris Apfel, Accidental Icon, Musings of a Geriatric Starlet. This book is absolutely phenomenal. It's not like a dense read or anything, but it does kind of go through her different philosophies, how she got to where she is, her style journey. The photos are incredible. It's just a great kind of visual inspiration book. And I mentioned it in my fashion Q&A. Her advice when it comes to style is just absolutely great. Whatever is a perfect summary of how she feels. She likes to take risks. She thinks that the payoff is greater than having to go change your clothes, you know? So it's an excellent book, a lot of wisdom. And again, the photography in this book is absolutely outstanding. I love her. She just turned 101, which is so crazy, but check this book out if you're an Iris Apfel fan. I got mine on Amazon. Absolutely would recommend this. Again, if you're looking for a lot of inspiration, I would point you towards this book and her in general. She's on social media. I'll link her down below. All right, that gets us through kind of books and fashion. Now I want to jump into makeup and beauty. Okay, the first one I want to start with is like a very silly one, but I want to share it nonetheless. And it is the Hello Fluoride Toothpaste in Juicy Grape. Now, if you're not new here, you know that I love things geared towards a younger audience, namely the Mango Sunshine deodorant spray from Dove. That brings me a lot of joy. But I've been wanting to try a fruitier toothpaste for some time now, just because, you know, sometimes I'm not in the mood for mint and that cooling effect, especially if, like, at lunchtime I want to brush my teeth and I don't want everything to taste terrible for the next however long. And I wanted to test this out. And yes, this is for kids, but it still has fluoride. Do what you will with fluoride in your life. I believe they have a non-fluoride option if that's your speed. But you guys, this smells and tastes like grape bubblegum, but like not in a medicinal way at all. It is like a very delicious grape and it foams incredibly well. I love it so much. I don't believe that there's sulfate in this. There is not, but there is xylitol, so be careful around your pets. I love this so much. This has brought so much joy to brushing my teeth, and I am not ashamed to shout this to the world. If you want to try something a little different, I recommend this. I'm trying another one that's Strawberry Daiquiri from ARC, which is like more adult geared, but that one still has a cooling sensation. This is just straight up grape bubblegum, and it does freshen your breath, but it's not a mint freshness. It's just like clean, and the taste doesn't linger very long, so you can jump right into like drinking coffee or whatever, and you're not going to get like a bitter or a nasty taste. This has brought me so much joy. I cannot get over it. I just can't. I love it. Check this out. They have other flavors. After I finish this, I'll absolutely be trying maybe the blue raspberry one. Then from a body care perspective, I want to shout out the Drunk Elephant TLC Glycolic Body Lotion. I've been testing other body chemical exfoliators, and I'm sad to say that this one I think is the best of them all. I want to do a skin or body care routine 2.0 for acne and KP. This will burn it down. There are some cautions I will give with this. If you've just physically exfoliated, it might be too strong. If you have open wounds, do not use this. It will burn. It does tingle and slightly burn, but not very bad. And I have very, very sensitive skin, so I'm sad because I don't necessarily like supporting Drunk Elephant, but I have tried the Ren, I have tried Good Molecules, I have tried the Fit Glow pads on my body, and while those work, this one absolutely clears my skin up the fastest of all of them. The price isn't too bad when it comes to chemical exfoliants for the body. You really only need a little bit. I'm only using this on my chest and shoulders, so I love this, and this has made a huge difference in my acne and KP. So this plus the soft services plus a couple other things I use that I'll get into in that video at some point. If you've been on the fence about this and you have sensitive skin, I'm here to tell you it's amazing. Then the last thing in skincare is the Peach Slices Redness Relief Azelaic Acid Serum with 10% azelaic acid, advanced treatment to visibly reduce redness. I can't remember if it was a favorite or what video it was, but I picked up the rest of this redness line from Peach Slices. I love Peach Slices as a company. Everything's under $20. It's at Ulta, very accessible. And I mentioned in a couple videos, I like to keep the things that I repurchase lower in cost, but still effective. I have not tried azelaic acid on my face before. I am very sensitive to chemical exfoliants, especially on the face. However, I do struggle with acne. I also have a little bit of rosacea, so I have to tread very lightly in the chemical exfoliant camp. I'm going to be doing a chemical exfoliating video for sensitive skin to kind of follow up on that angry skin video, and I love this. This has really been helping. Frank's into something. This has really been helping the cell turnover of my skin. It's really been helping with breakouts, especially around that time of the month for me. Oh my gosh. And also helping with hyperpigmentation. So I really, really like this. I do not have any negative side effects when I use this. I'm not using it twice a day as it says you can on the back, but I use it once a day until my skin is at a place where I don't feel like it needs it. And then I kind of use it every other day or when I feel like I need a little help in the turnover department. Make sure you're wearing SPF when you wear this. This also has Centella asiatica and algae like the rest of the line. So love that there's kind of soothing ingredients to counteract the azelaic acid. I've never used azelaic acid. This, I think, has changed my mind on it. I really like it, especially for something at 10%. Usually my skin freaks out. It has not. I could go on about this forever, but I really, really like this. And I only use a pea-size amount in the areas that I need help with redness, hyperpigmentation, or acne. Then I also want to say in this video that this has been a month of lips for me. I've really branched out with lip formulas, and I have 4 favorites in terms of formula that I can't get over and I can't stop wearing. I'll start out with the first that might be obvious to a lot of you. It is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb the Creme Gloss Bomb in Fruit Snacks. This is, I'll swatch it. This favorites is a little chaotic. I'm sorry. Between Frank being Frank and the fact that I've already filmed 2 videos today, it's kind of nuts. But this is the perfect berry red that I've been looking for fall. I talk about this in my fall beauty planning video. It's absolutely gorgeous. It is a little darker. I've had to turn my lights up because it is now getting dark outside, but it's a little deeper than what it's showing on camera. Actually, quite a bit deeper. It's a bit deeper, but it's a beautiful, beautiful true berry. Almost like someone mushed up raspberries and added a touch of deepness to them. Oh my goodness, I love this so much. It's absolutely beautiful. For more true to color, I'll link the video where I talk about this shade below, but formula's great. There's really no scent, which I remembered them having a nicer scent, so I'm kind of bummed about that, but love that. And then the next one is the Merit Beauty Lip Oil in Sangria. Now this is much more purple with more brown in it than Fruit Snacks, but I cannot stop wearing this. This lip oil is such a different formula from everything else that I have in my collection. See, it's a little deeper and a little bit more purple in real life than what's showing, but it's such a lightweight lip oil that does moisturize, but it's like a blotted lip. It feels weightless. If you want more in-depth about this one, I'll link the full face of Merit that I did, but I've really been reaching for that one a lot. He's nuts. He's nuts. If you can hear him, my sincerest apologies. Then the next lip formula that I cannot put down are the Live Tinted Hue glosses. I got both the shades. The first one I'll swatch is Proud, which is a nice warm nude. And then the shade Brave, which is, oh my goodness, a beautiful brown berry color. I know you can see him and I know you can hear him. He's chasing his tail on the seat now. Frank. I want you to see this wild man. Go on, do your thing. Okay, he's paused. He's paused, but we'll see what happens. So here are those two lip tinted shades. This one is the kind of more nude shade in Proud. This one is the kind of brown berry in Brave. This formula is so thick and juicy. I'm actually going to apply Proud. The doe foot is so interesting. It is huge. Like way bigger than you would expect coming out of this tube. I was like stunned. And then if I turn it around, it has the most perfect divot to collect product. Like it really is a deep divot. You're not going to be able to see on camera, but it is quite a deep divot. And it just allows you to load up the doe foot and load up your lips. It is not really sticky at all. It is very thick and gel-like. And dare I say, almost, it's like the Fit Glow if you added a little bit of oil to it. Oh, and look how juicy and glassy it makes the lips. These have become very fast favorites. I posted about them on Instagram. I love these, and this color for fall, heck yes. It's not exactly the berry that I was going for with the Fenty Fruit Snacks, but it is such a nice color for fall and winter. I will be wearing this nonstop, and it has like such cool copper metal, thin copper metal brushed tops. They nailed it with these, and I messaged them and was like, I would love to see you expand the shade range, and they were like, keep posted. So heck yes. We caught him on camera, by the way. I act annoyed, but like he brings me so much joy. I love it. I love when he's in this mood. It's actually play o'clock right now. So as soon as I wrap filming, we're going to go exert all that energy downstairs. Don't you worry. But he's like a wild man. And I love when he's chasing his tail, because if I turn around, he will stop. Frank. What are you doing, bud? Caught red-handed. Okay, I am so sorry about this. Moving into the last lip product, it is the NYX Butter Gloss. I cannot believe it took me so long to try these, but man, I love these. They feel so nice on the lips, and it smells like pineapple upside down cake to me, but I have mine in the shade Creme Brulee, which is this very lovely light pink shade. If you were a fan of MAC Boy Bait back in the day, I swear they changed the color to be more peachy now, but this gives me the effect that I used to love out of that, which is a milky light pink on the lips, very 2000s. I love it so much. These lip products have brought me so much joy. The formulas have really wowed me, even in comparison to my favorite N Beauty and Fit Glow products. All right, moving into the next to last tangible product in front of me, it is going to be the Therabody, the TheraFace Gun. No, I have not had it that long, but yes, it is an absolute favorite, and yes, it is absolutely worth it. I will get into the chronic pain video because that is one of my favorites, but I mentioned that I had this on my birthday wish list. My husband got it for me. I've had it now for, I think, 2 weeks. Wow, wow, wow. If you have tension headaches or TMJ, this is incredible. If you want me to do a full video on this alone, I absolutely will. There's skincare attachments for this. They have LED lights. They have LED light attachments, red, blue, and purple. So we can absolutely jump into this. It also, I have the pressure point tip on it right now, and I've been using it on my jaw and my temple and my neck for tension headaches. I love this so much, and it's portable. It came with a case with all the attachments. I can take this on trips. I will never be without this. If you have been on the fence, absolutely. I would say if you have more back pain, you want the body gun, but if you have more neck and head and jaw tension, this is the way to go. I cannot rave about this enough. I could cry. I'm so happy that I have it. My husband was so sweet to get this for me. Look for sales, especially now that Black Friday is coming up. They did have a special for back to school, which is what he took advantage of. I just couldn't be happier to have this. So I absolutely love that. Moving into the last tangible product, which looks like it's going to be beauty related, but it is Frank related, and he has exited the building, which he's probably up to no good, but I need to get through this so we can go have play o'clock. But it's these mascara wands from Amazon, and I picked the pretty colored ones. One, because they're cute, but two, because Frank's fur is black. I need to be able to kind of see what I'm doing. I purchased these because if you have a dog, I'm going to say this wrong, but he's the brachycardic type breed where his face is kind of smushed. He doesn't have a long snout, so his nasal passages, his sinuses, they're all pushed to the front, and he has very large eyes that tear up and get eye boogers sometimes. So I like to use this. It's very small. He's a very small dog. He's only 10 pounds. I like to use this to kind of brush the boogies away and kind of detangle that stuff after it gets kind of gross from tears, and I use this in conjunction with an eye cleaner, and it has been a lifesaver. He doesn't mind these. They don't hurt. It easily gets the stuff out of his hair around his face. So if you have a dog who needs tear cleanup, I really recommend these. And then the last thing that's Frank related is I ordered steps for the bed, and I will link the ones from Amazon that we got below. A little on the pricey side, but now he's independent enough that he can get up on the bed when he wants, get down if he needs water, get down if he needs to let us know that he has to go to the bathroom. I love them so much. He really appreciates them. They have brought us all a lot of joy this month. So those are my two very favorite dog purchases. Recently, we've had them both for a while. I've been using these since the second week that we had him, and I just wanted to throw it in there if any of you have a dog that needs kind of tear cleanup around the eyes. Okay, I think he's going to behave enough for me to get through the last bit of this, so we're now into the more non-tangible things. The first is my Merit Full Face. So we talked about the lip oil. I'm not going to hold up all the products, but I have consistently been wearing a full face of Merit products. I will link the video of my full face of Merit and also the wear test versus Salt New York. While I love both of those brands, Merit kind of bridges the gap between no makeup and a more finished look for me. So I've been wearing that nonstop, and it's been so quick and easy. Like if we wanted to run out for dinner last minute, I can slap that face on, know that I look finished, but it took me 5 minutes. I've really, really been enjoying that, which was surprising because I scoffed at Merit for a while, and I don't think it's for everyone, but I really like it, and there's a place in my beauty collection routine for it. Then the next one I want to talk about is the chronic pain video and the Q&A video. So I mentioned in my Q&A how much the chronic pain video meant to me. I just want to reiterate that here in case you missed that video. All of the comments meant so much, from you opening up and sharing your perspective and your story to connecting with me personally and even connecting with each other, liking each other's comments. That is probably the most proud of what I'm doing here on YouTube I have been, to see you guys interact with each other, to interact on a topic that probably needs more discussion, kind of mainstream, and that I think a lot of us feel very isolated in. It was so nice to kind of bring everyone together in that discussion. I do want to continue beauty strategy. Anything that you would like me to build a strategy for, let me know. I definitely want to visit PCOS and fatigue. A lot of people mention that they deal with fatigue. It ain't great. So I want to create community around that, because fatigue is one of the hardest symptoms that I battle outside of pain. But again, if you commented on that, if you liked it, if you liked someone else's comment, if there was discussion, if it sparked discussion in your life, thank you so much. That is truly what I'm here on YouTube for, and I can't reiterate that enough. I'm just so happy how that video was received and the result that came from posting that. So thank you again. And then the Q&A video. You guys, I was nervous to post that, and it was so fun reading the comments, and I've been gathering up the questions. I'm going to try to film that this week. Thank you so much. I do think it's going to be helpful to get to know me a little bit better, but also to introduce people who are new to my channel. We hit 400 today, which is so wild to me. We talked about that in that video as well. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching and becoming a part of my life. I love discussing things in the comments. It's why I think comments from you and from me are both really long and detailed. And I love that because I was here to create community, and I feel so connected to you when you do comment. Tell me anecdotes about your life, tell me your favorite products. I just love it. I joined to talk to people about all of these things. So thank you so much if you've been interacting on my channel and just for being here. If you're a silent watcher, you mean so much to me as well. So thank you. And thank you for all of the great questions. We're definitely going to get into that later in this week. And then moving kind of away from my own videos, let's talk about some YouTube channels that I've been loving. And it totally is directly related to, I am so happy that I've gotten more of my house done. The wallpaper is a huge favorite for me. Finally knocking that off the list has been incredible. We have been getting more furniture, whether it's secondhand or ordering, and it's just, we're starting to see some of the rooms come together a little bit more. And this is the first home that my husband and I are really kind of finishing and making a home. We've lived together now for a while, but we never quite finished the spaces that we were in before, whether it was because it was a transitional space for us or it was brand new to us, but we're finally kind of verging both of our styles and finding what works. And to do that with him has been so fun, but also to have a space that is us and completed feels so nice and cozy. So I've been really happy with that. And two channels that have really been sparking inspiration in that is Paige Wassel, who is hilarious, and her commentary on trends and what's good and what's not is just very entertaining. So go check her out. I know that I'm kind of late to the game with her, but she's so funny. She's very deadpan, which I so much appreciate. More deadpan than I am, and I appreciate her humor so much, but also her take on home decor. And while she's not exactly my style, there is some overlap there, and she does very realistic things. Like, I have a suburban home that was built in the 90s. It doesn't really behoove me sometimes to go look at some of these inspirational houses when I can't do those things in my home, or there are things that don't work with some of the stuff that I want to keep around, like the wood trim, for instance. A lot of people just paint that, and I want to kind of enhance that. And she goes through even like a cookie cutter suburban home if it's been built in the last kind of like 30 years, and I really appreciate that. It's hard to find that on the internet. And then the second one is Caroline Winkler. When I was down for the count, not feeling well, I binged her entire channel. I'm a little late to the game. I think she just recently kind of went viral-ish almost and gained a ton of a following. She's hilarious. Her appearance and voice is almost a mixture of Jennifer Aniston and Queen Herby to me. And those two in one are just, what more could I ask for? Great wit and humor. Her vlogs are so fun to kind of get to know her, but her style is on point for what I look for when I'm doing a space. And so she has really kind of reignited that excitement for me to work on the house and knock some of those projects off my list. Highly recommend both of these channels if you're into interior decor, if you're looking to kind of zhuzh your place up a little bit. I absolutely love both of those channels. Go check them out. I will link them down below. And then Justine Snacks. I have been following her since 2020. She is on TikTok. That's where I came across her. She's very popular, so you might have seen some of her posts. But I have tried multiple recipes from her, and man, oh man, is she excellent at creating recipes. They're always fast and easy. She is pescatarian, and a lot of the dishes are vegan, but if you're not either one of those, you can easily add chicken, beef, turkey, whichever, to her recipes to make meals. They're fast. They combine really interesting ingredients. She pulls from a lot of different cuisines. My very favorite is her chili oil egg sandwich, which we have made multiple times here, and her salsa verde, which is an Italian inspired salsa verde, it's broccoli based, and you wouldn't necessarily have come across that, I think, if you are not really into kind of authentic Italian cuisine. Highly recommend those recipes. All of her recipes are great. So go check her out if you're in the need for kind of like whole food focused recipes. She's not really there to tell you what type of diet to follow. It's more so just focusing on whole foods and things that nourish you and make you feel happy inside because they taste fab. And then last, I want to talk about the 3 podcasts that I am listen to, and make me very excited this month. The first is STown, which was a brother, sister, however you view that, podcast to the original true crime podcast, Serial. So the storytelling is laid out very similar to Serial, but it's a very interesting podcast. I won't give any spoilers away, but it really focuses on one kind of more eccentric guy who is like a renowned clock fixer, repairman, like antique clocks, and it's just a really interesting story about a person living in Alabama, and it was just really interesting. I don't know that it's my favorite because there wasn't like a clear conclusion to it, but it was just interesting to kind of listen about learning someone else's perspective, and it is a mystery, so you'll have questions at the end, but it was very entertaining and I enjoyed it. I like the layout of that storytelling, and I would highly recommend checking it out if you need like a quick, lighthearted listen. And then the second one is I just wrapped the first season of, I can't wait to get into the second, it's Something Was Wrong. So this podcast is basically to highlight times when you should very much so listen to your intuition or your gut. The first season has some triggering topics. It talks about domestic abuse, not so much physical as mental and emotional, but it was about a woman who was engaged to a man and things unfolded and they couldn't believe they had been duped. Very, very interesting. Almost like the, is it Dirty John, where he like pretended to be an anesthesiologist or something, but it's very interesting, and I think it has an important message about kind of lifting women up, believing women when they come forward, but also really trusting your gut. I'm excited to get into the second and third season. The way that it's laid out, I really like the storytelling. It has interviews just like STown, very similar kind of format to STown, but it's been really interesting and I have really enjoyed listening to that. And then the third, which I will leave you on, I cannot believe we are lucky enough that this is happening, but Queen Herby is starting a podcast, House of Queen. There are 2 episodes, and so far I'm very, very into it. I love her perspective of spirituality and creativity, and that's what this podcast is focusing on. It is specifically being made for people who want to tap further into their creativity, more so than spirituality, but spirituality is going to play a lot into that, and she's very spiritual. So I am excited for her to teach me all the things. I am soaking it up like a sponge. I might even do a Get Ready With Me where we talk about a very specific idea that she shared in, I think, the second episode. But I highly recommend you checking it out. She has a lot of experience in the music industry. She does all of her photo shoots and video shoots. She is the creative master behind the whole brand of Queen Herby, and she's going to be talking about personal branding. Your life's purpose is one of the episodes. I cannot believe it's happening. I'm so excited. She does co-host it with her husband, who is also her producer and was a part of the band Carmen back in the day. He's hilarious, and it's so nice to get to know him a little bit more. But I will say I'm kind of hoping that they come up with a more streamlined format because it's a very conversational podcast. So if you're not into that, it might not be your cup of tea. But I think they are trying to get a little bit more structured in their episodes. But yeah, absolutely love it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that she has that. So those are my favorites for this month. Again, a quick one, but I hope that there were things in this that you also love. I hope maybe there's some new things that you never thought of, like Grape toothpaste for adults. And I hope that you had an amazing month and you found some things that really brought you joy and helped you through it. And let me know down below what your favorites were. Maybe I'll test some of them out. Maybe they'll bring me some joy. So yeah, let's share all of our favorites. And I hope that I will see you in the next one. And until then, I hope you have a loving, caring day. Bye.